Hello everyone. In this video we are going to be creating a value scale using line. After you have completed this exercise, you can apply the techniques you've learned to any type of drawing. So over here on the left you have the master, Rembrandt. You can see some great examples of hatching and cross-hatching here. So it really doesn't matter what subject you're interested in. You can apply these techniques just about any type of drawing. Another thing is you can use any type of material for this exercise. If you don't want to use pencil, you can choose from marker. You can also use charcoal. But for this exercise, I'm going to be using pencil. Alright, let's get started. We're going to start by creating some cross-hatching. And if you want to do this in a sketchbook, you can simply just create some 1-inch squares in your sketchbook and complete it that way. I'll also have this resource available in the description. If you want to download this and print this out for your students, feel free to do that. Alright, we're going to start off on the lightest side on the left and the darkest on the right. When you're doing this, you want to have a gradual transition from light to dark. You do not want to go too dark too soon, otherwise you'll have nowhere to go here. So start off by creating the lightest set of values and finishing with the darkest. And make sure you push the values here at the end. You want these to be very, very dark and these to be very, very light. So we're going to start off by doing a little cross-hatching. It's going to make a series of parallel lines, just a few in the lightest value here. And then I'm going to cross over them by going in the opposite direction. So this is a good example of the lightest value. You have a lot of space between the lines here. Next I'm going to go a little bit darker. So I'm going to tighten up the spacing between the lines. Going to add more pencil to this section here. And just do the best you can to be consistent with your spacing and also the direction of the lines. And finally the darkest value. These lines are going to be very, very tight. You should see a gradual progression from light to dark. Hatching is simply going in one direction and not crossing over like we did here. These two look a little bit similar here, so I might actually go in and try to squeeze in a few more to establish a little bit more contrast. And it's fine if these overlap just a little bit. That's a little bit better. If you squint your eyes, you should see a gradual transition between the different sections here. So, last one's going to be very, very tight. I might actually overlap quite a bit. Let's see. Going to cover up most of the paper. Might go over that a second time just to add a little bit more contrast. But the idea is to have an obvious contrast between each of the squares here. The next one is going to be some scribbles and squiggles. Free us up a little bit here. So I'm just going to go ahead and make some S's. More like some waves, rather. I'm diverging a little bit from each one here. Slightly different line. I think you get the idea. If your wrist begins to tighten up, you can push your hands together like this. That's probably a better way here. Just kind of push your hands together like this, and this is a good stretch. And take a break if you need to. And continue on. If you overlap, you can get some very interesting textures here. So give that a try. Okay, here we are. Hope you guys enjoyed doing this exercise. Pay close attention to your squares here and just make sure that you have a gradual transition. Some of these I had to go over a few times just to really push the values, which is what you want to do. You want to make sure you have a strong light and a strong dark and a gradual transition in between. Over here you can see an example of some cross hatching from another master drawing here. Here is another example of some hatching and cross hatching. So hope you enjoyed that. Have a great day.